Hello, and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Trista Littell interviews John Schexnayder about upcoming rite of election when the Catholic Church welcomes new members. Father Michael Russo's talk about In a Fallen World in the segment What It Means to be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Gerald, for This Year of Faith, Bishop Gerald interviews Blake David about his life as a Catholic. And now, Catholic news on this February 3rd weekend. A series of men's work days have been scheduled at Our Lady of Sorrows Retreat Center in St. Martinville. Volunteers are asked to give of their time and skills from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. on February 9th and March 23rd. Men who have experience in carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, painting, concrete work, and general cleaning are encouraged to lend a hand. Holy Mass will be celebrated at 12 noon, and lunch will also be provided for the volunteers. For more information, please call the Center of Jesus Crucified, 394-6550. Our Lady of Sorrows Retreat Center in St. Martinville will host a Year of Faith lecture series on the Catechism of the Catholic Church. The lecture series is offered free of charge and no registration is necessary. The sessions will be held from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on the following dates: February 14th, February 21st, and 28th. For more information, please call 394-6550. The Acadiana District Teresians will host a Day of Renewal on Saturday, February 23rd at St. Pius X Elementary School Theater in Lafayette. The cost is $25 per person for those who register in advance prior to February 6th, or $30 at the door on the day of the event. Students may register at the cost of $15 per person, and all registration fees include a light breakfast and lunch for the day. For additional registration, please call 739-2518. Acadiana District Teresians are part of a global ministry that welcomes all women who desire to grow spiritually. St. Anthony's Church in Lafayette will host a day of reflection for African American men on Saturday, February 23rd. The event is sponsored by the African American Men's Conference, and the focus will be the African American male in his role as man of God, husband, and father. For more information or to register for the event, please contact the Lafayette Diocesan Office of Black Catholic Ministries at 337-261-5694. The Lafayette Diocesan Office of Marriage and Family Life Ministry would like to invite all couples to a special date night on February 23rd at the Petroleum Club in Lafayette. The event featuring Dr. Gregory Popcak is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. and costs $40 per person, which includes dinner for the evening. To access online registration, please visit www.diallaf.org and select Marriage and Family Life from the Offices tab. Dr. Gregory Popcak is dedicated to helping Catholics find faith-filled solutions to tough marriage, family, and personal problems. He is also the author of over a dozen popular books. Encourage is a Catholic ministry dedicated to the spiritual needs of parents, siblings, children, and other relatives and friends of persons who have same-sex attractions. Standing by the true teaching of the Roman Catholic Church, Encourage members support one another and their loved ones through discussion, prayer, and fellowship. Encourage meets every third Wednesday of the month. For more information, please call the Courage Chaplain, Father Donovan Labe, at 985-395-3616. Coming up next, Trista Littell interviews John Schexnayder about upcoming rite of election when the Catholic Church welcomes new members.
Welcome to Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and joining me today is John Schexnayder. John's going to be talking to us today about RCIA and the RCIA ceremony. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
We're glad you could be here to tell us about RCIA. Please give us some information on it.
Well, the RCIA is the Rite of Christian Initiation of Adults. It's the method in the Catholic Church whereby we have people come from other faiths to study the Catholic faith and eventually be initiated into our faith.
Well, if one is interested, how do they get involved, and tell us about the classes?
Many people will call their local parish, and if they have an RCIA, they just enroll in that, the local parish. If they don't have a parish, or if their parish doesn't have an RCIA, they normally call the diocese, the Office of Christian Formation, and most of the calls are referred to me. So I will take them and try to find a parish where they can enroll in the process. Normally I'll try to find a parish that's close to them, or sometimes they will come to Holy Cross, and if they don't have a parish, we'll take them into our process. And then we'll try to get them to join our parish.
Oh, okay. Well, is there an age limit to this?
There's really no age limit. It is for adults, but they also have a children's RCIA. Most of the children go through the religious formation program in the parish. However, some that are not baptized will come and enter into the RCIA process, some with their family.
Right.
So there's really no age limit, but it's mostly from adults, and a few parishes have an RCIA for children.
Well, what's taught in the classes?
I'm sorry?
What's taught in the classes?
Well, first of all, we don't like to call them classes.
Okay.
The RCIA is more a formation in faith. It's a journey, a faith journey, and we call them sessions. And it's normally not a teacher-student relationship. We gather and we share faith. Now, of course, along the process, we do learn, and certain things are taught, but it's never a lecture. The rite calls for sharing your faith, talking about your journey, and as we go through the periods, it's mostly about studying the gospel, breaking open the Word, and seeing how the gospel is calling us to faith.
How long does the RCIA process last?
Normally, it will last about 8 months. Most parishes begin in September and end around May or at Easter time. However, some parishes have an ongoing process where you can enter in at any time. The rite calls for the person to be initiated when they're ready.
Right.
So it takes as long as it takes for some people. Some may go a year, some may go 2 years. Normally, it's about 9 months. So it's quite a lengthy process.
Well, what are some of the challenges you encounter?
One of the biggest challenges is to form the teams in the parishes who will conduct the process or facilitate the process. Many parishes have 1 or 2 members, and it normally takes 4 or 5. And in the smaller parishes, they have limited resources. Most of the people involved in ministry are involved in something else.
Right.
So it's difficult to form team in the parish. The other thing is to trust the process and to follow the vision of the rite. Sometimes that can be difficult also. Sponsors can be a problem, recruiting sponsors, recruiting good sponsors, because they have to make the same commitment as the candidates for 9 months,
it's
once a
big
week.
commitment.
It's a big commitment.
But an honor.
It is, and normally they learn more than the candidates learn, and it's a very rich process and a rich journey that they take.
Well, let's talk about the rite of election.
Yes.
When is the ceremony and where will it be held?
The rite of election will be held at St. John's Cathedral, February 17, 2013, at 2:30 p.m.
Can you give us a rundown or describe what's going to happen?
Well, at the rite of election, all of the candidates and the catechumens from throughout the diocese gather. There's a celebration with Bishop Jarrell. There's beautiful music. There's ritual rites where Bishop Jarrell elects the candidates and the catechumens. That is, he chooses them and he sends them forward to the parishes onto the sacraments of initiation at Easter time.
Well, the rite of election seems to be a big event. Who can attend?
Well, all of the candidates and the catechumens that are enrolled in the process can attend, with one exception. We do have Catholics that are in the process who maybe have been baptized but have not been catechized. They have no formal training or participation. However, those Catholics who have been baptized and receive First Communion should not attend the rite of election because they're already a part of the church.
Right.
So that's the only restriction. All the others enrolled in the process should attend.
Now, do they have guests that attend also?
They do have guests. Families can attend, however, seating is limited.
It's a large group.
It's a large group and the cathedral is normally full. It's best to get there early. We do have reserved seating for the families and the guests.
Well, if someone has questions about RCIA, who do they contact?
They contact the Office of Christian Formation at 261-5550, or they can call me. My cell phone is 654-9671. They can call at any time, and we can refer them.
Thank you, John. Thank you for pouring out your heart and spreading Christ's word.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay tuned, folks. There's more to come on Tell the People.
Thank you, Trista and John. Coming up next, Father Michael Russo's talk about a fallen world in this segment, what it means to be Catholic.
Hello, I'm Father Michael Russo, the pastor of Our Lady of Fatima Church here in Lafayette. We are all familiar with the story of Adam and Eve. To eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil would mean that Adam and Eve would die. But as the story goes, Eve is walking in the garden and she sees the fruit and takes a bite. And then she gives a bite to Adam and is thus blamed since time immemorial for leading Adam into sin. But should Eve get all the blame? Because remember, Eve was not present when the commandment was given not to eat of the tree. That commandment was first given to Adam. When the serpent tempts Eve, Adam does not speak up. He silently watches Eve take the fruit and eat it. It was only after Adam sees that Eve is still alive does he take some from her and eats himself. So what a man. Instead of loving his wife, Adam uses her as a guinea pig to test God's command. And when God confronts Adam, being a typical husband, he tries to put the blame on Eve. But God knows better. They both must pay. Dear friends, when we find something we like at the store, one of the first things we do is look at the price tag. What is it going to cost us? Now, if we only understood this about sin right up front, you see, if the forbidden fruit had been rotten, do you think Eve would have taken it? But it was pleasing to the eye, says Scripture, so Eve acted on her immediate desire without looking at the price tag. And that's the most common mistake people make. Would any young person experiment with drugs or alcohol if they could see where the journey may end? Would any spouse be unfaithful to his or her partner if all the heartache and pain were evident?